Start off by introducing yourself, first and last name, and telling us the waitressing and food service jobs that you've had or still have. Give us a little of your work history.
Yeah, so hi, my name's Aleigha Lambaiso. I've worked at several different fast-paced restaurants. I actually grew up in the industry. My family owned Genero's Diner, which was like a little breakfast spot across from the neighborhood that we lived in. And then I did some dinner restaurants, and then I ended up back at a diner. Sandfielder Cafe for like 7 years. So we were there for a while. Yeah, and I'd love to share with you guys what that job looks like and
Perfect.
what that experience was like for me.
If you want to be a waitress or a waiter, there's an expectation that you need to be what? Friendly with
Yeah.
customers, energetic with customers. What's your mindset when you walk up to a table?
My mindset walking up to a table is I want to be personable but efficient. There's definitely moments where you're trying to connect with your customers, making it a pleasant experience for them. But you can also, you're working on a strict time management because you have other tables that you're dealing with. So you don't want to make the conversation too long and you want to make sure like all of their needs are going to be met, if that makes sense.
For sure. And when you start at a job, like I know you've recently started up at Eat
Hmm.
Restaurant, in those first few days, first few shifts, what are some things you want to make sure you do to sort
Yeah.
of learn the ropes or make sure the team knows who you are? What are you thinking about when you first start?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go in. I want to make sure I know who I'm gonna be working with. I'll probably because you're also going to be supporting each other, your coworkers. All of the tables are kind of your tables essentially. So if you walk by and somebody needs a drink refill and it's not your table, you're going to do it anyways. I'm also going to make sure I know where anything that I could possibly need, I'm going to know where it is. So like
Hmm.
ketchup, napkins, extra silverware. I want to make sure I know where everything's stored in case somebody asks me for it. I'm going to introduce myself to the kitchen because I'm going to be communicating with them all night.
Let's talk about social skills with customers, teammates, your manager. Do you say please and thank you? Do you say, like, as the customer is leaving, do you say have a nice
Oh, yeah.
day? What are some of those polite sort of rules and etiquette that you're finding yourself saying throughout your shift?
Yeah, so as soon as the customer walks in, you're going to kind of set the tone and the vibe for them for their whole experience. That's their first impression of you as a waitress and the restaurant. So we always say hi immediately. I'll wave too because I don't know, it's just what I do now. Um, and greet them, say how are you guys? We'll get them sat, get their drinks ready, and then when they're leaving, we're always going to greet them like say goodbye to them as they leave too. Like we don't just let people walk away without saying goodbye and see you later or anything like that so that they're acknowledged on the way out as well.
Please
Yeah.
and thank you. Or like when you're asking teammates to help you, do you just say like, do this for me? Or do you say, would you please do this for
Oh
me? Like,
yeah.
what are you thinking about when you're talking with teammates?
Yeah, yeah, working as it can get like the pressure can get kind of intense. So we're doing everything that we can to keep everybody in a calm environment under pressure. So we're going to be as nice as we can. We're saying please, we're saying thank you, we're saying I appreciate you throughout the shift.
What suggests to you that a waiter or waitress is doing a good job? Because now you've been on both sides of it, having worked it and then being served. So
Oh
what
yeah.
is a good waiter or waitress in your eyes?
A good waiter or waitress is being really attentive. They're looking at my table, they're checking on me. They're coming by and seeing if I need a drink refill. If the glass is like half full of water and I'm a waitress, I'm gonna fill it up more. Um, Also, like if you're waiting tables, you're relying on tips. So if you want to make a decent amount of tips, then you have to care about your customers and you have to be compassionate with your customers. If you're just being transactional, it's going to leave a negative residue and you might not make as much as you could be making when you're genuinely caring for their needs.
Tell me
Uh,
what it means to if there's someone was just transactional, what would that look like?
if somebody's being transactional, they're, just doing the bare minimum, taking my order, bringing me the food, not asking if everything's okay, how am I liking it, not asking me if there's anything else uh, they could get for me, or um, asking if I need a drink refill and stuff like that.
As a waiter or waitress, tell me first just the importance of cleanliness as a waiter or
Yeah.
waitress. Why is that critical on all levels in a
Oh, yeah.
restaurant?
Yeah. So, yeah, you're handling food. So, if you have bad hygiene and you're dealing with food, like people, people want to, when people are eating, it would be a really horrible thing for somebody to walk by and smell bad because it's really off-putting. Like we used to sell art on the walls.
Hmm.
There's a couple that made little ornaments and they would hang them on the walls, and we eventually had to stop. We had to tell them to stop coming in because and selling their art on the walls because their hygiene was horrible and it was making customers complain and ask to be moved to like the other side of the restaurant when they would come in. It was terrible. And we didn't want to do that, but it got to a point where we had to. Um, yeah, you're also, if you're waiting tables, you're going to be speed walking like the whole day. So you're sweating. It's going to get hot in there for you. We keep the temperature comfortable for customers. So you're more than likely going to be really hot. So you want to make sure you shower before. I never wore any strong perfume or anything like that because some people could be allergic
Hmm.
to fragrance
Interesting.
or like have asthma. So I wouldn't recommend body spray or like spraying down any type of perfume or anything like that because that could also make a customer feel uncomfortable or like they want to leave or not come back because they could have a reaction to your fragrance that you're wearing.
What about hand washing? How often are you washing your hands on the job?
Um, like almost every 5 minutes. Anytime you're picking up dirty plates from a table and you're putting them in the dustpan, you're gonna go wash your hands. Before you pick
Hmm.
up food to bring it to a table, you're gonna wash your hands. Like anything you touch on that table, that's your customer's table, your hands are now contaminated. So you need to go wash them immediately. We're doing that all day long. You clear a table, wash your hands. You go to the bathroom. Also, this is one thing that we did. If you went to use the restroom, you would wash your hands like you normally would in the bathroom, come out, the customers see you walk out of the bathroom, and then you go wash your hands in the visible hand sink. It doesn't matter that you just washed your hands, you're going to do it again.
You have worked in a breakfast, lunch, diner type environment, and you worked
Mhm.
at a high end sort of dinner spot.
Yeah.
Do you have a different mentality in both places? Do you treat it the same, whether they're going to buy, $3 eggs and hash browns versus a $80 bottle of wine? Does anything change in your mind, or is it the same focus and level for you, regardless of the bill at the end of the meal?
Everything is pretty much the same other than breakfast. Customers eat faster. It's like their first meal of the day. They're getting ready for the day. Then they're probably going to go to work or something like that, or do some type of activity with their kids. So they're eating quickly. You're turning those tables faster. So when I go to the dinner restaurant, I just make sure I slow my pace down just a little bit
Hmm.
because that's when people are like enjoying their meal. They're staying for a while. They're talking with their friends and stuff like that. So that's really the biggest difference. You're just slowing down just a little bit. Their ticket's going to be higher, so you're going to make more money off of it.
For a student who may not have worked before, would being a waiter or waitress or even bussing tables, would that be a great place to start to gain some work experience?
Oh yeah, I think that's a perfect place to start. I actually started off as a busser. I started off as a busser and then I moved to hostessing and then waitressing and then management. You can move up from a busser if that's what you're comfortable doing. That's what I was comfortable doing. I was afraid of people. Like I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was just picking up dishes and then eventually when I got more comfortable, I'd move up to like hostessing, greeting people at the door, sitting them at their table, and then waitressing and taking care of them at the table.
Well, it
I think
seems like, and by the way, when we say bussing, we mean clearing the table when
yeah.
people are finished. Seems like bussing into waiter and waitressing is a great way to develop confidence
Oh
to
yeah, yeah,
interact with people in a very sort of gradual way. That was your experience, and probably for many students, it's just a way to develop the skills to talk to
yeah.
people.
Definitely.